Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today is Thursday, November 26th, and I'm Audrey DeYoung, and this is Audrey Live. Thank you for joining us today. Today is, as many of you know, is Thanksgiving for our American friends. They celebrate Thanksgiving today. So today we're kind of focusing on things that we are thankful for. We're kind of calling it our thankful show. We have a few presentations today from our guests are Jennifer Tryon, Jill Fitzhenry, Renia, and Lana Lam. So let's get started. I'm glad that you tuned in, and make sure that you let us know where you're from. And if you have any questions, we will try to answer them, or we will be answering them after the show. A few things also, just if you'd like to see any of the other past shows, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is Pin It Canada. And there you'll see all the Audrey Live shows, plus our Pin It Canada Live virtual events. So you can take a look at some of the demonstrations there, and subscribe and hit that little bell. And then that way you will get notification when we upload the videos. Thanksgiving is a federal holiday and in the United States. It's celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November. The event that Americans commonly called the first Thanksgiving was celebrated by the Pilgrims after their first harvest in the New World in October 1621. Thanksgiving is celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November, but it was not always that way. When Abraham Lincoln was president in 1863, he proclaimed the last Thursday of November to be their National Thanksgiving Day. So I guess I'm not quite sure when it was before. I did a little bit of research, but couldn't really find it. But that's how they have it, the fourth Thursday. I'm from Canada, and we always have it usually the second weekend of October. So it's kind of interesting that we celebrate it much earlier. And I know different countries, they have like a harvest festival in October or harvest time. Over in Korea, where Corey was, they had a harvest time. In Holland, they have like a harvest festivals. So everybody seems to, celebrate something, or many countries do in the fall to celebrate the harvest and, all the things that we are thankful for. Today, our first guest is Jennifer Tryon. She was a TV journalist turned full-time TV crafter after her two worlds merged. You can find her on Global's The Morning Show, TSC in Canada, and HSN in the US. She writes a blog and produces an online TV show that stems from her namesake, Tryon, A Homemade Life. The idea behind Jen's brand is that you don't need to be an expert designer to create some of the amazing products we see posted and pinned online. Jennifer lives in Toronto with her husband and 3 children. So enjoy her thank you healthcare workers card. And enjoy.
Hi there, I'm Jennifer Tryon. Isn't this the cutest and so fitting? We wanted a way to say thank you to some healthcare workers, and I broke out the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend pens. So I printed out the NHS coloring sheet that one of the brilliant illustrators at Crafter's Companion did. So this is too many people and too big for one card. So I'm going to color the little lady here, this doctor or nurse. And I'm going to color the doctor beside her. So you can see I'm using the 3-blend technique. I'm starting with my lightest shade, and then coming in with my darker shade, then my mid-tone, and again, it's all in the same marker, and then going over it again with my lightest shade. Even though it's a small space, it's still really good to put the dark, the medium, and the light tones. And then if I want it to be even darker still, like I did here on the green, I went over it all a second time. So a little bit more dark, a little bit more mid, and then all over it again there with my lightest shade. And you can see how it all just sort of blends together. And don't forget the little details like on the mask and the lines, and making sure that even though the skin is, sort of a small space, it's still good to put the dark, the medium, and the light tones. I just colored in one of the hearts. I always love blending reds. It looks so great. And then I got out the color blend pencils and really watch how the shading comes to life once you start adding the pencils. Especially on the hair. Now we're going in fast motion, so it's hard to tell, but I'm going in little sweeping strips the way the hair would grow in order to achieve that highlight. And then I'm just going to fussy cut them out. And yes, he's missing an arm because there was an image beside him, but I'm going to put my sentiment beside, and I don't think anyone's going to notice. I had a stamp that said, "Thanks, you're a lifesaver." I thought that would work perfectly. And I'm using my tape runner, just getting everything adhered on and layered up. And then I'm just taking the light gray blend so that they're not floating in midair. And it's a really simple, cute card. I hope you're inspired to break out your tri-blend pens and send a card to someone who's on the front lines. Thanks for watching. I'm Jennifer.
That was great. I know I've got some of those markers as well, and they are really, really neat. But I love that design. Again, she said it was the NHS. So that is the healthcare system actually in the UK. So if you Google that and you want to get that design, I'm sure you'll find it there. So thank you, Jen, for sharing that. And you also can go check out her website and her Facebook page, Tryon A Homemade Life, to get more information and see where she's going to be next. Our next guest is Lana Lam. She's from Missouri. Lana has been painting for about 35 years and truly loves the journey she's been on. It's so exciting, she says, to be able to do things that I love. She has met some of the most amazing and talented people through this process, all of whom teach her something new every day, and all of them have become lifelong friends. She feels very lucky to have a great support group of painters close by. Her hope is to inspire others also to find the passion in their painting, to feel the relaxation and the satisfaction of having done something creative with their paint. So we're going to get her video up here. There we go.
Okay, to begin this project, let me tell you how I got to where I'm at right now. Okay, so I took my plain ornament and I mixed 50% multi-purpose sealer, 50% gray sky, base coated 2 coats on every single side of it. I just use a 5/8 inch angle brush because I could get my edges really nicely with it. You can apply it with a sponge, that's what I normally do, but the pieces were so small, a brush will work just fine for this particular thing. Okay, then after the undercoat is dry, you want to mark off 3/4 of an inch from the top and draw a line. And the lower part is what we're going to paint. So you're going to apply 2 coats of your base coat colors. I did lavender, primary yellow, true blue, true red, scarlet, and holly green. So this is just our Deco Art paints that we're using here. So now we're going to stencil on the background. These 2 I've already done. This one I've done with a darker color for the background, and this one I've done with a lighter. I really like the lighter better For my yellow one, I couldn't really go lighter unless I went with a white or, you know, a cream color, and I just don't think it would have looked quite how I wanted it to look. So I'm sticking with the darker on the background. You can do darker colors in the background, but I think for my purpose I'm going to use light colors. You could also flip this around and base coat them with the lighter color and then use the darker color for your stenciling. So for the stenciling part, we are going to use a makeup sponge to do this. Bring my palette into the frame here, and I'll zoom you in just a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to take my stencil. You can use any stencil you want. I was originally going to use a small snowflake stencil because I think that would look so cute on these, but then decided to go this route with this swirly stencil. So I am going to figure out, those are going up and down. I don't want my swirls to go across. I want them to go up and down. So I'm going to lay it on here and grab a piece of Scotch tape here and tape it across there. That will also help me.
Off. There are no untrainable dogs, just untrained humans. It's just that.
From getting paint on my topper up here. Okay, so for the red one, I decided to go with Boysenberry Pink. Alright, we're using a makeup sponge. Makeup sponges are not absorbent, so I'm going to get a little bit of paint on there. Actually, I got a lot. Okay, that is a lot of paint. So I'm going to go over here and work that paint around on the end of that sponge because it won't soak up into it. So don't try to get it to soak up into it. It might slightly soak up into it if you have a ton of paint. It might, but they are not absorbent, so disperse your paint. Don't tap into the paint and just keep tapping. Get a little bit on there and then come over here away from the puddle and tap it, you know, around the bottom of the sponge so that it disperses on there. Okay, straight up and down with your tapping. Here we're going to shade around the outside edge and underneath our topper. And on the purple one, I'm going to use dioxazine purple. I want you to use whatever brush that you'd like to shade with. So we're going to go underneath here. I'm going to do both sides. Then we're going to go along the sides on both sides of this ornament. Lay your brush flat, soft pressure. Just darkening up the edge. I want to bring that out a little bit more. More water and paint. Oops. A little bit too much sharpness on that edge, so I just took my mop brush and kind of soften that down. More paint. Now if you have a hard time floating long areas, then you can pre-dampen it. Okay, so I've done all the outside edges of these and underneath right there. So now we're going to dry brush a highlight on here. So So I've got a dry dome scruffy brush. This is a 5/16 Royal Crafter's Choice. You can get this at creativeartslifestyle.com. Probably the brush guys carry it too. So I put paint on. Now I'm removing as much as I can off of it onto a dry paper towel, dry brush, dry paper towel, and we're going to create a highlight down the center of these by just gently rubbing this. I want it to be much brighter than that. Start off easy because you don't know how much paint is in your brush. I have this come all the way up here. Widen it a little bit through the widest part of the ornament. Okay, one more time. And we'll do this on all of them, on both sides. Okay, I have let these set overnight and come back to them this morning, and I love them just like they are. I was going to put some dimensional stuff on them, but after I came back to them, I thought, oh, they look so much like real bulbs now. So the only thing, the option that I want to give you is that on this one, and I'm going to put it on the other side, I've only done this side, I've applied 2 coats of Glamour Dust Ice Crystal onto it. And the other ones I'm not going to do that to, just this one. And then to make them really look like a real ornament, I'm going to varnish them with 2 coats of high gloss varnish. And then
Thank you very much, Lana. That was great, very inspirational. And I know that you had mentioned, much like myself, that you paint ornaments to hand out as a thanks for the holiday season. And for many in the U.S., the U.S. Thanksgiving kind of is the beginning of their Christmas. That's when they start decorating for Christmas and shopping for Christmas. So yeah, so it's a time to be thinking about Thanksgiving, but also Christmas. There is a free link for the packet on her website. So you go to lanalam.com/product/Christmas bulb ornaments. And that's where you can find the packet on her website for free. Also, there's a link there for the surface on her website as well. So take a look, and you can order some of those ornaments and make some for the holidays yourself as well. So our next guest is from Renia. Ever thought about embossing with something other than an embossing folder? Other objects, such as a decorative woodcraft items, are just the beginning of many possibilities. So let's take a look and see what they have for us with the embossing. And it's a card, and I believe, I'm trying to think what they have on the card, but she said you certainly can change the words up so that it could be something for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. And yeah, so it would be really enjoyable for any holiday season. So enjoy.
Hello, this is Teresa. I think I have a pretty unique idea to share with you today. I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes I think about embossing with different kinds of objects. And I found this gorgeous piece of wood at a hobby store, and I looked at it and thought maybe I could emboss with this. And it really isn't much thicker than a standard embossing folder, so I thought I'd give this a shot and see how it turned out. So I did have to play some with this sandwich for the machine to make sure that it would work. So I'm starting with the Sizzix platform, the all-purpose platform, and I opened all the tabs on it. I used an embossing mat, and I put the foil piece of paper down so that the red side is facing down. I put my decorative piece of wood on there, and then a standard cutting plate on top. And I did have to add an additional shim to this to make the impression come out the way I wanted it, and it did turn out pretty beautiful. So I want to sand this to give it kind of an antiqued look, and what I should have done is left the piece of wood kind of attached to the foil before I pulled it up, or pulled it up together, but I didn't. Luckily, I think I got it kind of right in the back in the same spot that I needed it to be in. So I'm taking this piece of sandpaper and I'm just lightly sanding over the edges, the raised edges of the image, and I thought it would work best if I could kind of align it with the object that I'd done the embossing with, so that I was just sanding away the color on the raised part of it. And I think this is such a beautiful result. Although I'm not showing it on camera today, I did experiments with a lot of different types of objects, and maybe in the future I'll be able to show some results from different things that I tried. This is just stunning and so easy to do. I took some pattern paper because I'm going to make a card out of this, and to me it just looked like a square card would be the perfect thing for this. I have some pattern paper here that has a little bit of red in it, and I thought it would complement this just perfectly. So I kind of looked through my collection trying to find the right size square and circle die, because I wanted to cut a circle and square together out of the pattern paper so that they could frame that beautiful foiled paper. I'm creating a card base using craft cardstock. I've cut this paper, it was an 8.5 by 11 sheet. I cut it down to 10 by 5, and then I am scoring it at 5 inches, folding it in half, and now I have my card base ready. So as you can see, I have my flower as well as the frame for it that I'm adding some adhesive to around all the edges. I will have to, I did have to trim off some of the red foil around it so that it would fit and not poke out from each of the sides of my frame. So after I attach this frame around my embossed and sanded flower, I'm going to add some more adhesive and put this on my card base, and then all I need to do is add a sentiment to it, and I have a complete card. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you liked this video, and here are some other suggestions if you'd like to see other videos. Thank you, and see you next time.
Thank,
This is Teresa.
thank
I
you,
think I have a pretty
Rania.
unique idea to share with you today.
That was a great, great card, and I know that if you don't have the machine, you can still do the embossing with items like that. And if you want to get some more information about the different products that they carry, it's www.rinea.com. Then there you have all a wealth of information there, and videos and things like that as well. I know right now it's certainly so many things to be thankful for. I know some people it's a difficult time with COVID and with the holidays coming up, but we still have to always remember that there is things to be thankful for. And just to me, creating and crafting to kind of takes your mind sometimes off of the negative things that are going on around you. So just keep that in mind. Perhaps if you're not having a very good day, you know, just start creating, start something new. There's lots of videos, there's lots of YouTubes, there's lots of Zoom classes, Facebook Lives. So, you know, make sure you spend that time finding new things and new creative ways, outlets to learn and grow. Our next guest is Jill Fitzhenry. Many of you know her as Jilly Bean. She is from Savage, Minnesota, and she's a Dynasty brand specialist and a teacher coordinator. She's also a deco art helping artist, travel teacher, and a past president of the SDP, Society of Decorative Painters. For the past 40 years, she has produced hundreds of designs, which are available as pattern packs, books, and videos. Jill will demonstrate for us today her Be Grateful design, which is a really neat pattern.
Hi, I'm Jilly Bean Fitzhenry. Welcome to another one of my acrylic painting tutorials. Today I'm going to show you how I do my Be Grateful Gnome pattern. And I'm going to start out by just showing you the sunflower and the plaid and the bees for today. And I've done this in a smaller version so that it's a little quicker to do, but it's using the same pattern and then just kind of placing the elements in different areas. Now, all of my pattern packets are available on my website, www.jillybean.net, and they're available either as a printed version or a download. Also, I would really appreciate it if you like this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jilly Bean Fitzhenry, and give me a like. I'm going to show you how to get started. done. I hope you've enjoyed my little tutorial on my Be Grateful gnome and doing the little sunflowers and the plaid stenciling. And I would like to invite you to join my Facebook group, Dynasty Painting Friends. Please be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd very much appreciate it. Until next time, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jill. That was wonderful. I just love those little bees and that brush, that double-ended brush that she has. The blender is just an amazing brush. And every time I see her using it, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to order one of those. So that's definitely on my list, my to-do list. Yeah, being grateful. I think that's something we all need to work on. Being grateful, being thankful, just everyday things, like when you're going to the store, to make sure that you say thank you to the person at the store or the person at the restaurant. You don't know what their day has been like or what they've gone through. And, just it's hard to see the smiles under the masks, but, try to put a smile on their face, and it just makes the world a much better place. So I guess, yeah, that's our Thanksgiving show, our thankful show. Just want to say to all of our American friends that hope you're having a great day. Perhaps some with your family, your small bubbles, perhaps, but that you're having a little bit of turkey there, gobble gobble with the stuffing, and just have a wonderful day. Next week on Audrey Live, we have Tracy Weinzaffel. So she'll be on the show with some great journaling techniques. And we'll also have some DIY Christmas crafting. It's the month of December starting next week. So we are like 4 weeks till Christmas. So we're just going to kind of do a couple of DIY Christmas crafting ideas. And yeah, make sure you join us. It'll be an awesome show. So yeah, this is Audrey DeYoung. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a great week. Bye-bye.